As Christians, we have the honor to love, serve, and obey our great Lord, our great King, our great God, Jesus Christ. And the Bible ascribes to him a power and authority to open a door that no man can shut and shut a door that no man can open. This is very, very important when it comes to delivering our nation from the evil that is savaging us. And I'm speaking specifically of child sacrifice, the shedding of innocent blood, which we call abortion in our day. There are basically three openings that tragically the church, those that call upon the name of Christ, and the pro-life movement has somewhat come into agreement with, and by a non-biblical worldview has perpetuated these open doors that continue to establish the injustice and suffering against the preborn. Specifically, these three doors that desperately need to be shut is the exception clauses like rape, incest, life of the mother. We must understand that the progressives, the Marxists, those that are pro-abortion, typically what they do is they take a worst case scenario, like a 12-year-old girl raped by her stepdad, and they pull on our heartstrings with this scenario to make what previously was unspeakable mainstream. So you'll hear a lot of pro-life groups or pro-life politicians say, I'm pro-life, except in the causes of rape, incest, and the life of the mother. And that was the camel's nose that got under the tent of our nation to bring about abortion on demand. And I can't stress enough how important it is we shut that door. The child conceived in rape or incest is not the guilty party when it comes to rape. The person that needs to be punished for the rape is the perpetrator, which would be the father. And so it is so critical that that door be shut. The second door that is open, and I know this is controversial, but it's critically important that we understand this truth. It was the lack of penalty in Roe versus Wade that the judges on the Supreme Court decided to unleash this bloodshed upon our nation. They looked at the statutes of the state of Texas. If you remember, that's where Roe versus Wade sprung from. And they looked at the statutes and they said, hey, you're expecting us to treat the child in the womb as a person protected by law like you and me. But we noticed on the statutes, there's no penalty against the woman who is most culpable in this act. And you have the lightest possible penalty of homicide when it comes to the abortionist that is putting their hand to this evil. And so you must understand, brothers and sisters, that because the Texas statute did not reflect the justice of God, we have all these broken bodies and all this shed blood of innocent children that are made in the image of God. And so what we're seeking here is equal justice under the law. We're seeking something that is consistent and passes the truth test when it comes to this Holocaust. We have, and I'm talking about us, Christians, the church, the pro-life movement, we have pitted the justice of God against the mercy of God as if they're contradictory. Well, I'm here to tell you, God is not schizophrenic. These virtues of God are complementary, and both need to be established in the earth. He has showed us, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require? That you do justly, that's first. Justice must be established first. Love mercy, and that's how we walk humbly with our God. The order is critical if God's will be established in the earth. Just like Colorado is defying the federal law by legalizing marijuana, just like other liberal states are defying the feds and the federal government when it comes to illegal immigration or sanctuary cities. States that are serious about protecting the life of the preborn, they have lawful authority. They are also ordained with a sword by God. And so any bill of abolition that is passed in any state, it must have in the bill itself, it will not answer to any court. In other words, when you establish the bill of abolition in your state, the federal government will no longer be involved in dictating what you're going to do in that state when it comes to the life of these children and our future and hope as Americans. And so, brothers and sisters, these three openings that continue the American Holocaust, it must be shut if God will ever work through us to deliver us from this evil. We can no longer afford to regulate baby murder. We must end it in Jesus' name for a future and a hope for our children and grandchildren. Go to abolishabortionar.com and sign the petition, please.